that Jesus taught us to keep on asking. That's Jesus in the red. Jesus said, I'm teaching you all a parable to give to Mount Pisgah in 2013. Don't stop knocking. Keep on knocking. Come on here. I remember the faith of Ronald Reagan. He said, and I told this before, but I have to go back and help him. He said that he went out to his uncle's farm one day and there was a whole pile of manure like that. And his daddy gave him a shovel and told him to shovel it off into this wagon so they could haul it away. And young Ronald Reagan said he took the shovel and he started moving the manure and he was smiling and just slowly showing. And his daddy said, Ronnie, why are you smiling? With all that manure you move. And he said, because with all this manure, I know it's got to be a pony down there somewhere. We need to knock with the persistence that if what we want is in God promises, we got to keep shoveling. Knowing that there's a pony there somewhere. I hope y'all hear me. If we listen real close and open our Bibles, when we have unsaved family members, when you have family members that think the gospel of Christ is foolishness, you got to keep on knocking. When you get bypassed for promotions on your job, you got to keep on knocking.
Amen.
You know, when we listen real close, we will hear somebody knocking. When we look at the conditions of our world, when folk knock on the church door, if it's not Wednesday or Sunday, there ain't nobody here.
Amen.
In the 60s, we used to go in a church Monday through Friday, doors always open. There was a Catholic church on Addison Street in Industrial. All saints is up here on Pearson Road now. We were little kids. We'd go in there and dip our hands in the holy water and do this. Amen. Door was open. But now it's not Wednesday or Sunday. There's nobody there. And if we left the church open Monday through Friday, when we came back Sunday, all of this stuff would be gone. That's the world knocking. In order to stop that, you got to save the folk that steal it. Amen. Amen. The question comes up every time somebody shoots. Well, how do you stop it? You got to change the hearts of people. You can't stop it with seminars and prayer. That's why Jesus said, once you get through praying, you got to do something. We got to start training these babies from the mama's womb. You ever notice how you have an attorney or somebody in the other race, maybe their attorney, their daughter's attorney, their grandson's attorney? Amen. You got judges because they got the method right. They train their children from an early age to be somebody. I hope y'all hear me. We got to start training our children to be presidents and vice presidents and stuff. You got to give them some hope and give them some examples. That's why you look at Dan Kilder here. His uncle just retired. What came behind him? Another what?
Another Kilder.
Do we leave a legacy behind us to fuck our kids to follow in their footsteps? I'm just trying to help us this morning. We got to train our children. That's why we clap when those youngsters came up here this morning. This is where it all starts. When you get them right in here in the street, we can get the streets back. Let me get out of here. We can't leave the church open anymore because things have changed. But there's not the still there. Have we we've gotten so comfortable with our carpeted pews and our carpet that we don't hear the knock. We got to stop looking down on people and look at them. Don't talk about people, talk to them. We got to start being an example. Now get ready to close. If we are the one knocking, we got to keep on knocking. If we are the one on the inside that can give those that need, we got to help make a difference. We got to go get some bread. Some of you have done that. You didn't have it, but you said, hold on right here, I'll go to the store. Amen. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You don't have it on you right then, but you say, wait right here. That's all this is saying. All right. Make a difference in the community. Amen. We got to stop just praying and preaching. We got to start helping somebody. And the sad thing about it, we don't ever know when it's going to be us. You can be up today and down tomorrow. In our text, a friend who had a need kept on knocking. Even when it seemed that the door would not be open. Just like Jay. It's time for the church to return to our roots and remind ourselves that if we listen real close, there's somebody knocking. Yeah. And our answer, Brother King, should be that God can still fix the sins of the world. Yes. We can't do it with presidents. We can't do it with governors. Lord have mercy. But we can do it with those that walk close to Him. I was listening the other day to a report from North Korea. This young new Korean, Kim Jong-un, who took over for Kim Jong-il, his dad, has said they're trying to starve us to death. You know, we've got sanctions on North Korea. And the problem is we have cut off their food supply. Yeah. And Kim Jong-un says, we're not going to keep up with the 1953 treaty. They began to point their missiles towards San Francisco. My God. Oh, God. Yeah. And just yesterday, we put all of our Air Force on alert. My brothers and my sisters. Yeah. When somebody needs to eat, they'll do anything to eat. We've cut off his bread supply. North Korea is knocking. But we become so arrogant as the United States of America that we tell him that you feed your folk the best way you can. Now, I'm not worried about Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is. I'm going to hold on
all right,
to the bread supply. It's time for us to be about our Father's business. I'm not worried that he's going to shoot a rocket over here now. Because I'm not worried. Because Jesus is the center of my joy.
All right.
And I've lost my direction. He's the compass for my way.
Yeah.
When I'm in darkness, he's the candle that lights my way.
Come on now.
And I want you to know today that if we listen real close, there's somebody knocking. God is not going to allow Kim Jong-un to come over here and hurt us. Those are of the household of faith. But what God is trying to get us to see, that we control what we control. If somebody has need thick of a loaf of bread, you ought to try to get it for them. You don't hear me? If somebody has a need for Christ, you ought to give it to them. And many times the best sermon is not the one they hear. It's the one they can see. And you don't hear me. There's somebody knocking on the door.
All right.
We've got to get empowered to lead on Sunday. My brothers and my sisters, there's somebody knocking. We in the church, are we listening, or are we going back to bed? He said, I'm not getting up to answer the door. It's time for the church to get up and answer the door, because somebody's knocking. Are you going to get up? Why should you get up? Because one Friday, Jesus heard us knocking. He went to a hill called Calvary. He tells his Father, I hear somebody knocking. One thief said, why are you on this cross? Why didn't you save yourself? And Jesus said, because I hear somebody knocking. You don't hear me? They took him down, put him in a borrowed tomb. But early, Sunday morning, Jesus got up with all power. In Revelation 3 and 20, for those that are not saved, the Bible says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. Well, let me help you with that. Nobody here knocks where they live already. They knock where you don't live. Jesus said, I stand at the door and knock. To the unsaved person, Jesus wants you to let him in. He said, if you let me in, I'll stay closer than a brother. If you let me in, I'll be bread in a starving land. If you let me in, I'll be a bridge over troubled water. If you let me in, I'll be water in dry places. If you let me in, let me in. Listen real close, church. If you listen real close, there's somebody knocking.
Amen.